Top 10 matchup again on CCX and high school girls basketball. Tonight it's number 1 Hopkins on the road to take on number 7 St. Michael-Albertville. From St. Michael-Albertville High School, John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson. Ryan, we saw this STMA team just a week ago against Wayzata. Almost pulled that one out. They're actually ahead in the second half before Wayzata rallied to win. The Knights have played a tough schedule, as we have noted throughout the season, and they're ready to play tonight.
Yeah, this is their first season in the Lake Conference, John, and they've done really, really well. They're tied with Wayzata for second in the conference at 7-3, but make no mistake about it, this is what they gear up for. I live here in St. Michael-Albertville, and all week long, all you've heard is talking about this game. So packed house here tonight. It feels almost like a state tournament atmosphere. They're going to be ready to play, and Hopkins, it's nothing new for them. They're used to getting everyone's best effort, so it should set up for a great, great atmosphere tonight.
Hopkins has won 23 straight this season, 55 in a row over the last 2 years. So what does it take to beat the Royals?
That's a great question. I think that every coach is trying to figure out. But what I think St. Michael-Albertville, what gives them maybe a better chance than a lot of teams, and they proved it earlier in there, they only lost by 8. So they gave Hopkins their closest game of the year. But St. Michael-Albertville, and we saw it last week, they have the capability, John, to get crazy hot from the outside. They can shoot the 3 as well as any team. So you got to be on fire. You got to make shots that maybe you normally don't. 2, I think defensively, Hopkins is so good on offense, you got to change your defense up. Whether it's zone, trapping, man-to-man, full court press, change it up. Try to get Paige Bueckers, who's so smart, try to get Hopkins a little bit out of sync. And the third and final key that we talk about every time we do a Hopkins girls game, you got to handle their pressure. You got to take care of the basketball. St. Michael can take care of the basketball, shoot extremely well, and make them a little uncomfortable offensively. They got a shot tonight.
Let's look at our key players. For Hopkins, we're going to talk about Amaya Battle. Missed about 10 games with an injury. She is back at full strength now, and really a good backcourt option for them. She does a lot of things well.
Well, she's got great length. She's another ball handler, so she can give Paige Bueckers a little rest bringing the ball up. She's long. She plays great defense. Very good rebounder. She's averaging under 9 points a game, but don't let that fool you. She's capable of scoring 20, 25 points. She's one of those girls that they have so much star power that you forget about her, and she can fill up the stat sheet. So Hopkins, with her back, just is that much more loaded, has that much more depth.
And for STMA, Kendall Cox.
Yeah, she's been hurt too with a bad ankle for a few weeks. They got her back last week. She didn't start, but she played a really good game. She's their third scorer at just over 10 points a game, 5 rebounds. She's their best defender. I'm guessing she's going to get the matchup tonight against Paige Bueckers. So she does a little bit of everything for St. Michael-Albertville. They're lucky to have her back. They're a more complete team with her in the lineup.
Hopkins is winning their games this year by an average of 37 points. But the first time they played STMA, the margin was just 8. We'll tip this one off. The Knights and the Royals. High school girls basketball next, live on CCX. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV. A really good crowd on hand tonight in St. Michael to watch the home team, the Knights of St. Michael-Albertville, take on the number 1 team and defending state 4A champion Hopkins. John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson back live with you here from STMA. Hopkins has been introduced. The senior night here for St. Michael-Albertville. They'll have a ceremony after the game, but always fun and also emotional for players and families when your player's a senior.
Well, I always tell young people to enjoy it, because you feel like you got another 2, 3, 4 years left. All of a sudden you're a senior and there's no more. And there's nothing like, even if you're playing at the highest level in college basketball, nothing like playing for your home city, your community, your teachers, your family, your friends. So pretty exciting night. I noticed Hopkins has the same pregame ritual, John, that you and I do. We lay down on the floor and get ready for our broadcast.
Absolutely. Gonna wipe the dirt off before we get back up. And you get a free T-shirt too, Ryan, from the players. So that's the reason for all the kids out on the floor scrambling for that $9 T-shirt. But
I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about Coach Ken Hamry, obviously, when we profile him during the game. But this is one of the things he's done a great job here in St. Michael-Albertville, is just connecting with the Youth Association. Yeah. You see a lot of young girls and boys basketball players here to support the Knights, and that's a common thread at their home game. So really fun. This is a big crowd for this team to play in front of. Obviously playing, the best team in the state, defending state champs, and in some polls the #1 team in the country.
There's Kent Hamry, now 15th season as head coach, and had a lot of success. Really has built a strong program from the high school varsity level on down.
Yeah, and the neat thing, you see him at the girls' youth tournaments too, so he's very invested in the youth program in this community.
Let's look at the starters tonight. First of all, for the Royals, 23-0, 10-0 in the Lake Conference, #1 in the state in Class 4A. Forwards Taylor Woodson, a 5'11 freshman, Maya Nanji, a 6'4 sophomore. Guards Paige Bueckers, a 6' senior, Amaya Battle, 5'11 sophomore, KK Adams, a 5'7" senior. For St. Michael-Albertville, the post player Vanessa Alexander, a 6' senior. Mackenzie Kramer, 9 3-pointers a week ago against Whiteside, a senior guard. Tessa Johnson, a freshman guard. Kendall Cox, 5'9" junior, and Lily Tennyson, 5'11" senior. And we are ready to tip this one off. Alexander and Najee, and the first possession goes to Hopkins. Paige Bueckers. And early touch in the ball, they go down low. Najee missing, but long arms and that big frame able to gather in the offensive rebound and score. St. Michael-Albertville able to beat the pressure. A little pull-up jumper up and in, nothing but net for Lily Tennyson.
Well, that's what you got to do. If you can avoid that early double team, that trap to throw over the top, you can get some quick early looks in transition. And you can see off the made basket, you see they're going to a zone. I like that, just switching it up a little bit.
This one missed by Najee and rebounded by Cox, and the possession for the Knights. Chance to take an early lead. Tessa Johnson, the outstanding freshman, backs it off now on the dribble. Adams guarding her. Bueckers gets in for the steal, averages over 5 a game, goes in here, scores, and 1.
Well, a lot of talk about her scoring, but she's also the all-time leader in steals, and there's why. She gets up, plays that passing lane. And one of the things, when you're playing a great player, if you're going to foul them, you got to make sure they can't get that shot off. Now you get her some confidence. She got an easy basket, going to the free throw line. That's how great players get their rhythm.
Bueckers an excellent free throw shooter, 86% on the season. And that's 5-2 Royals. And the trap in the backcourt, Kramer. They'll throw it into the front court. Cox able to get it to Johnson. Pull up, tough shot over Najee, not good. Bueckers with the rebound. Looking up court, ahead to Taylor Woodson. Bounce pass, short jumper up and in for Adams.
What a beautiful fast break there in transition. Throw ahead, the ball doesn't touch the floor. Get an easy look.
Cox goes baseline, little floater up and in.
Well, you can see Maya Najee, just her presence at the rim. The Knights are careful not to challenge her. That's 2 floaters. Those are difficult shots. That's what makes Hopkins, I think, so complete, is they got the inside and the outside as well.
That along 2, not good. Rebounded by Kramer. Pass ahead, Johnson baseline left is good.
I like what the Knights so far, you can see them throwing it ahead. If Hopkins can get their defense set, they are so good in the half court. If you can get them before they get set up and get an early look, you can see they've taken advantage of that.
Najee, nice little step in and gets the basket, her second hoop. Backcourt, and ball knocked away by Hopkins, still STMA ball.
You know, the other thing with the Royals, John, is their length. I don't think people talk about their length. They have tall, lengthy guards. They have tall, lengthy, big people too that are like that. They just get their arms on everything.
Woodson with the steal. And the battle layup makes it 11-6. Knights this time able to break the pressure. 3 ball, long on the shot from Tennyson. And Bueckers grabs the rebound. She'll push it ahead. Nice little dish off. Battle, short jumper up and in.
I think that's her at her best when Paige Bueckers can get going in the transition like that. You got to stop the ball. Otherwise, she's got such great vision, so unselfish.
Ball intended for Cox. Another steal for Hopkins through the hands of Najee this time. And a turnover by Hopkins as Cox recovers it.
Well, you can see how they average, 86 points a game. They get up and down so quick and get good shots too every possession.
Tennyson open, but a little too far out for her liking to shoot, and gives it off to Cox now. And break down Adams off the dribble and back to Tennyson. Battle pops out on her.
The thing
this is that half-court defense you were talking about a few minutes ago.
And you see the ball screens. Most teams get a ball screen, there's 5 seconds. Most teams on a ball screen, you get comfortable because you're going to get a switch. You see Hopkins, they press up, they trap, they jump that ball screen. You never get a second to relax against them. That's where you got to attack them. You got to try to put them on their heels, backdoor cut, motion, movement. If you're stagnant, it allows them to really get up in you and be aggressive, John.
Emma Miller, 5'1" sophomore, number 5, into the lineup now for STMA.
She's a spark plug for him. She plays so hard. She needs to be that tonight for him. See if she can handle that pressure and get the ball moving, try to get some easy baskets for him.
Off the Hopkins miss by Najee. They're working at Kramer in the corner. Her first shot up and in.
Seems like a replay from last week.
Yes.
She was on fire in that game against Wayzata with 9 threes that you alluded to. And Emma Miller, again, driving baseline, finding her teammate, knowing they need a bucket. You go to a great, great three-point shooter, Mackenzie Kramer.
They work it around to Bueckers. Baseline shot, Woodson not good, and it's Miller with the rebound. She'll push it again.
Emma Miller giving up size, but she doesn't give up heart. She fights for every loose ball.
Cox left side, driving. Miller, floater off the back board, not good. Rebounded by Woodson. Here comes the freshman into the front court, back to Paige Bueckers. Najee, they're liking to go to her early and often in this game. Woodson open on the baseline hits. Her first basket.
Taylor Woodson, only a 9th grader, averaging 15 points. She's got that great size and able to shoot really well. Great touch. And you can tell Hopkins early on, they don't feel like there's anyone for the Knights that can match up against the size of Maya Najee.
Nobody maybe can shoot like number 1, though.
Yeah.
Second 3 for Kramer.
Well, we talked in the pregame, John, they have to make those shots if they're going to be in this game. You can see 6 points on the last 2 possessions on open threes. Allowed them to get right back into this game.
Bueckers trying to answer, can't get it to go. Rebounded, though, by Adams. Off to Najee, out of bounds. And it's off Tennyson. Johnson back in here for Hopkins, or for STMA. You look at Kramer with the made 3. And then next possession, knocks it down again.
She wanted to make them on both sides,
right.
Even it out a little bit. But yeah, she's one of those rare shooters where if she gets an open look, you expect it to go in. You're surprised if it misses. Speaking of that,
Bueckers misses, and the rebound by Alexander. Nunu Agara, number 24, is in for Hopkins for the first time tonight.
Oh, how about that 6'1" freshman too? So she's got that great length.
Kramer again. She's a third of her way there to last week.
It does. It seems like a replay of last week. Oh, beautiful pass.
Bueckers finding Agara traveled. Good defense by Alexander, forcing the turnover.
And here's a look again. Nice pass. Emma Miller doing her job, getting into the heart of the paint there, and knows where her shooters are. And Mackenzie Kramer knocks her 3rd one in a row.
STMA has come back to tie it at 15. Cox through traffic and some trouble. Back out. A 3 for Johnson. Good look at it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't go down. Rebound by Najee.
She's one of those others that usually when she's open like that, that's good. You can put that in the bank.
Contreras, number 4, had it briefly. Now it's into Najee again. Powers up and scores.
You know where that play is made, John? Every time she's touched it, Vanessa Alexander is allowing her to get that great post position. Watch her step in right in front of the basket there. And as big and as skilled as she is, she's able to just turn. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. You got to fight. When you're playing Maya Najee, I think you got to fight to not let her catch in such a prime scoring position.
That's 7 early points. Yep. Follows on Kendall Cox, her first. In that pressure, but Knights will beat it. It's Alexander in the front court. For Kramer knocked away from behind by Contreras out of bounds.
Well, it's the right idea. The only thing when you're playing Hopkins, that ball can't hang in the air like that. If you're going to make a pass, it's got to be a crisp pass. You got a ball fake. You got to get it there in a hurry. Because this Hopkins defense, they swarm the ball. They like to get steals.
Bounce pass in. Great play. Cox finding Tennyson. Excuse me, Alexander.
Yeah, and I think what made that play was a screen the screener for Mackenzie Kramer. So much attention placed on her that Vanessa Alexander able to slip in there and get an easy one.
Bueckers, this line shot up and in, her second basket.
That's her game, that mid-range. She's just so deadly. You got to contest her 3 because she's so good there too, but she's able to shot fake, get into the mid-range easily.
Cox missing from the outside. Rebound, Contreras. Trying to push it and then pull it back out. Didn't have numbers. Bueckers open. Now hits it from 16. Not good. And it's rebounded by Alexander.
What a smart play by Contreras, John. Pushing it, realizing a lot of players would have forced a tough shot there. Instead, backs it out, ends up getting a great look for Paige Bueckers.
Rive Johnson scores and is fouled.
Well, that's what the Knights love to see with Tessa Johnson. She's such a good shooter, but she's also really good at going to the basket. And the more she does it, the more successful she is. Watch her quick move, great ability. You see that ball almost coming off her fingertips, somehow able to corral it and get it up with a chance for a 3-point play.
Fouls on Battle, first team foul on Hopkins and Johnson. A freshman who's averaging 18 a game with 5 early, and we're tied again now at 20. We haven't played halfway in the first half. A lot of points already up on the board. Pass into the lane, stolen by Johnson. They're going to come through the double team, and it's fouled by Bueckers or Contreras. They're both there.
Well, what I like the Knights, they're attacking on offense. I think so many teams, they get a steal like that, they hold it, and they're almost reluctant to push the ball. You see, you attack Hopkins, you can get points, you can get some opportunities.
Close to 5 seconds here. They just do get it into Kramer. Miller turned it over on the dribble.
Well, you can see early the Knights are Emma Miller with her quickness and her speed. They're letting her break down at the top of the key there, try to beat her defender, get into the paint, and if she can't get a shot, try to create for her teammates. Been pretty successful here early on.
And Bueckers. KK Adams open for a 3, long, rebounded by Kramer.
We've talked a lot about great shooters. There's Emma Miller for 3, just off. KK Adams, one of the best 3-point shooters too around, shooting well over 40%.
Bueckers into the lane, tried to go to Contreras, missed her, it's out of bounds. Kendall Cox coming back in for STMA, Najee and Battle for Hopkins. And Bueckers will get a rest along with Agara out. Let's see number 1 come off the floor very often though for Hopkins. A steal by the Royals in the backcourt. Here's Contreras. Not about the 3, finds Najee. Tough shot on the block, scores, and 1.
You think of how you describe Maya Najee and you think, well, she's got great size, she's big. She almost is as nimble as a guard. Look at her catch that ball at the elbow. I mean, that's not easy. That's one power dribble, jump stop, take the contact. She's kind of got that agility, but that great strength too, and she's only a sophomore at 6'4". Probably used to playing against her older brother, and you take that confidence now, and she's just having a dominating game and dominating year.
Free throw miss, so the score remains 22-20 Hopkins. That through the hand of Johnson and able to recover it and get it to Miller. And then the little floater on the baseline up and in by Tennyson.
Wasn't that over and back?
Sure looked like it, didn't it?
There was no one that tipped it. That clearly looked like it went back across the half-court line. Either way, it worked out for the Knights.
Woodson up and in. 15-footer. She's got 4.
Her second mid-range, too.
Great pass ahead, but then the miss by Alexander, trying to chase it down. It's off Hopkins. Stays with St. Michael-Albertville. Bueckers back in, Contreras out for Hopkins.
Yeah, that play was a danger. When you save it at the half court like that, a lot of times that can lead to an easy layup for the defense. The Knights fortunate to get that and then get a good shot by Tennyson out of it.
There's Johnson breaking down her player off the dribble and one.
Just a great little hesitation there, and she exploded, showing her quickness. And I tell kids all the time that parents will ask, what do you tell your kids to work on? Use both hands. Look at this drive. She's a right-handed player. See her shield her with the body and finish with that offhand. Beautiful move. Chance for her second three-point play.
And does complete it. Battle, that's her second foul. She'll come out. Agara back in. Knights in front midway through the first half. Bueckers lob down low. Banking it in, Agara for her first basket.
Now gets that zone, just a nice vision there by Paige Bueckers.
Kramer, 3 missing, rebounded by Bueckers. Aggressive on the glass so far tonight. Mid-range shot for Paige, up and in.
Well, what I love is she hasn't shot the ball great here to start. She had a wide open 3, knows exactly where to get to her spot, able to get to that mid-range and knock it down.
Knocked away from behind. Steal, here's Woodson from Bueckers. These are the little runs that Hopkins can go on.
You gotta limit their runs.
Miller looks like she traveled, now he's called for it.
Tie game, there's 5 points in 3 quick possessions, and I think this is what makes Paige Bueckers so great. She pushes the ball, she's got that height to see over the defense, and she just sees the floor so well, and her teammates know that if they run hard, John, they're going to get rewarded. They're going to get the ball and a chance that you get an easy shot.
Here comes Bueckers, dish off this time for Najee, up and in. 8 in a row quickly for Hopkins, and their lead is 7.
Well, and I don't know how you defend that other than you bring all your help defense to collapse the lane there, but that's just beautiful basketball.
Ken Hamry calls a timeout. His team in a little trouble there in the backcourt.
It's 7 quick points. And really all generated by Paige Bueckers, whether she was scoring or making the correct basketball play. And I think, we run out, we've done a number of her games. We've talked about her greatness. She's nationally known for how great she is, but I think the one thing that people don't realize is just how fundamentally sound she is. Doesn't try to force it. Sometimes you see great players try to force things. I feel like she just continually makes the right basketball play. Sees the floor so well. When you're at the newsroom at CCX, you see the whole floor when you're there. Right. Very similar.
Exactly the same. All right, see if the Knights can break some of this momentum. There's an open 3, and they'll do it. Tennyson,
remember
first 3.
Yeah, remember last time Hopkins got a lead, and St. Michael-Albertville able to hit a bunch of 3s to get right back in it.
Whistle and foul away from the ball on Najee. First on the sophomore, 14th foul on Hopkins.
Well, I like that the Knights were fighting with her, not letting her just post up right in front of the rim. That's what you got to do. And Maya Najee trying to fight back to get that position. Got called for the offensive foul. Yeah, Coach Cosgriff is getting a bench warning. I don't think he appreciated that call down low.
Ryan Cosgriff, 21st year as head coach, and 562 wins Ryan in his career to 67 losses.
89% winning percentage, 7 state championships. He's one of the greatest to ever do it in any level of basketball, but girls basketball in particular. What a job he's done. Just a legend he's become.
Cox ball knocked out of bounds by Hopkins on her drive. Kramer throws it into Johnson. That's a Johnson for 3. Rebound by Bueckers. 5 rebounds already in the game. Pushing it ahead. Nice little dish off. Short pass for Najee. Able to complete it. And Maya will go back to the line and shoot 2.
Well, one of the strategies, and it's a lot easier said than done, is I think you have to pressure her the length of the court, John. I think if Paige can get a rebound like that and dribble, you see how deep she got before anyone stopped the ball. And she's just got that vision where you got to pick her up, at least slow her down. So maybe her head isn't up. She can't see the plays unfolding. If she's allowed to just free dribble all the way into the heart of your defense, she's either going to beat you with a shot or a score, or she's going to make a pass like that, get a teammate a really good shot.
Najee is 72% free throw shooter, hits them both. Double team on the sideline. Loose ball, backcourt, over and back. Are we going to get a tip? And Hamry thought the ball was tipped. No, it was not.
Well, and you got to be aware of that trap coming. You don't want to pick your dribble up on the side of the court like that. You just have no outlet to go to. I like how the Knights have attacked the full court pressure, keeping the ball in the middle of the floor.
Bueckers again, that mid-range shot up and in.
Well, that time Vanessa Alexander off the ball screen just backed up, and you can't give a great shooter like that her favorite jump shot.
Cox almost turned it over there. Down low, trying to get it to Alexander, and a great effort by Woodson. Breaks it up. And the Miller back in for the Knights. Cox will get a rest.
When you play Hopkins too, you feel like, God, we played a pretty good first half, and all of a sudden you realize you're still down 8. You just can't have any lapses when you're playing against them.
Tennyson was running out of time, throws it off of Woodson. We'll try again here on the inbound. Six minutes, 20 seconds to go in the first half. 36-28. Lauren Hopkins leading number 7, STMA. Good drive to the basket. Alexander can't finish, out of bounds, off of Bueckers.
Yeah, I like the move. Vanessa Alexander got quickness for a tall girl. She's 6 foot. Maybe a quickness edge against Maya Najee there. Had a good move. Just got to get a little bit more touch on that finish.
Oh, ball sails behind Kramer and out of bounds. Turnover for the Knights.
Those are the kind of turnovers that you just can't have against Hopkins. You need every possession, every shot chance. And that wasn't necessarily a forced turnover, right? That was kind of just an unforced error. See the baseline opening there.
Bueckers trying to take Johnson off the dribble. We get Bueckers for an offensive foul here. Trying to create some separation, at least in the officials' mind. The timeout by STMA. Take a look at it again.
That's good defense by Tessa Johnson. I was going to see it because a lot of times if you see that off arm extend, it's an easy call for the referee. You kind of saw the start of it, but then she pulled it back. That's probably one of those no calls.
A reminder of our play of the week. It is brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove. Each week, 4 new plays are up for you to vote on. Go to ccxmedia.org. Go to the sports tab from the homepage. Go to the play of the week and make your choice. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove. John Jacobson, Ryan Iverson. We are at St. Michael-Albertville High School.
Yeah, I can see the baseline opening up. She decides to go. Nice job there. Yeah, I don't see the extension there at all. That was great defense, and I thought a good shot attempt. What do you think?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times
no call.
it's hard to see in real speed, but you see the slow-mo, you see that off arm, that left arm extend, and then that's an easy call for that referee right there. It looked like it was about to be, but I don't think that was an offensive call.
Good shooting from both these teams so far. Although Royals have not made a three, but a lot of points around the basket.
A lot of those coming on drive and kicks down low. Mayanagic in great position. A lot of them are just catching and layups.
Tennyson throwing it to the corner to Miller. Nice here, down by 8. A little high for Cox, able to get it though. Backs it off now with her dribble. Agara on her. Now will drive it at her. And traveling on Kendall Cox.
I'll tell you, Nunu Agara, 6'1", only a 9th grader. She's got that great length too. At every position they're long, and they're quick enough too. You got to make quick choices and jump stop. And the other thing is when you trust your on-ball defender, you don't have to overhelp. So there's really no outlet to go with the ball either.
Gar looked at the basket, now finds Woodson, back out to Bueckers. And that mid-range shot, this one spins out. Woodson gets it, won't go. And the defensive rebound by Tennyson ahead. It goes to Alexander after pass follow-up up and in by Kramer.
Great throw ahead, even though Alexander didn't make that nice job by Mackenzie Kramer, who's hit 3 threes to come in there and grab the finish and tip it right back in. Again, in transition, St. Michael-Albertville's gotten good shots here tonight.
Bueckers will lob it for Woodson into traffic. And get a foul, looks like on Woodson, coming across and knock down Alexander. No, it was going to be on. Yeah, it's Woodson, it's her first.
Yeah, kind of hard to see if she was expecting Woodson to go get that. There really wasn't much there.
No. 16 fouls now on Hopkins. Oh, it looks like a little extending of the arm there. No call. Tennyson open for 3. Missed it, and rebound by Najee. She'll hand off for Bueckers. There's the lob down low. Woodson able to catch this one, and she'll go to the line for 2. We'll get a foul on Tennyson.
I'll tell you, with a lot of teams, John, girls will run the floor, but they don't really cut hard looking for the ball. Part of it's Paige Bueckers always being able to and willing to give that ball up. But the other thing is these girls run hard and they cut hard and they expect to get the ball. So they put themselves in great positions when they can catch and look right to score.
Woodson and Najee both get to the line a lot, Ryan. They're both over 71% free throw shooters. And Hopkins as a team shoots 73%. And they get there often. So.
And not only do that, but you end up putting foul trouble on the other team's big. So most people don't have the depth to come in and play it. You got to think Taylor Woodson's 5'11", Agara's 6'1", Maya Naji's 6'4". I mean, they are all long and extremely good.
Tennyson open for 3 and hits. That's her second 3. She's got 10 points.
Yeah, that's big. That's a scoring boost that they need. She only averages 7.1. And again, I think Emma Miller just pushing the ball and making the right play, finding another teammate for a good look.
Back to a 5-point game. Adams. Najee turns. Not good. Rebound by Woodson. Adams gives to Najee up and in.
That's great initial defense. Taylor Woodson doing a great job getting that offensive rebound, keeping the possession alive.
Bueckers just missed on the steal. Kramer, good ball movement to the corner for Tennyson. Short, rebounded by Najee. Woodson gets bumped by Miller at half court.
How about Mackenzie Kramer, as great of a shooter as she is, has an open look, recognizing that Tennyson just hit a 3 and making the extra pass. A lot of times you see those extra passes result in a made basket. That one just a little off.
Inbound here to Bueckers. 3.5 to go. Royals by 7. Woodson puts it on the floor. Offensive foul on Taylor Woodson. That's her second. Woodson with 2, Battle with 2. Tennyson has 2 for STMA. Woodson will get a rest And with those 2 fouls come out, Aguara back in. Kramer, nice, beat the pressure, picks it up to Cox, now to Tennyson. Quick passes, Miller to Tennyson. Opposite corner, and it's Cox with it. The reset as Miller drives all the way to the basket, can't finish. Najee rebounds, off to Bueckers. Paige will back it off on the dribble. Skip pass across. KK Adams open. 3 not good. Rebound for Tennyson. Here comes Johnson. Into the hands of Miller. Knights trying to cut more into this margin here before halftime. We mentioned in the pregame they were tied, these teams, at halftime when they played at the Lindbergh Center in January. There's Johnson off to the left corner. Miller, floater over Bueckers, up and in.
That's a tough shot, too. That's a nice shot. Good movement, drive and kick that time. Got a good look at the basket.
40-35. Adams down low. Najee, not good. Foul up and in. But she is tough for anyone to stop, and the Knights have had no answer for her so far.
Yeah, you almost just got to try to force her, not even to allow her to catch those.
Miller's second floater, not good, but she tips it out and keeps the possession alive. Great play by Miller. Cox with it now. Backs it out on the wing. Tennyson, the baseline, and Najee with the block.
You know, they play good defense initially, but they sustain it too throughout, 10, 15, 20 seconds. There's just very rarely a mental breakdown. They just don't give up easy baskets.
Minute and a half to go in the first half. Johnson nice down pass. Low and in for 2 for Cox.
Cox, being guarded by Paige Bueckers, who likes to overplay those passing lanes. Great backdoor cut. Beautiful vision that time by Tessa Johnson.
Adams, 3 is up and in. First 3 tonight for Hopkins.
She kind of gets forgotten sometimes, but she's a phenomenal shooter.
Kramer for 3, not good. Rebound by Najee. Under a minute to go now in the half. Give it into the hands of Bueckers. See if they're in the hold for 1 here. Certainly working clock. Bueckers backing it off to near midcourt. Under 40 to go and running. And they are indeed looking to hold for 1 here. Good first half of basketball. Hopkins, number 1, leading number 7 STMA by 8 points, 45-37. Ryan Iverson making his way down to the court. We'll hear from both coaches here during the intermission. Now Bueckers with the offense going. Finds the open player. Adams missing badly on the 3 in the corner. Rebounded by Miller. Lets one fly at the buzzer. It's the front of the rim, and that is it for the end of the first half. Entertaining first half of basketball. And the Hopkins Royals, on the strength of 17 points from Maya Najee, take a 45-37 lead into the half against the Knights of St. Michael-Albertville. Let's go down courtside. Ryan Iverson standing by now with Kent Hamry.
Coach, what an atmosphere tonight. Packed gym. What'd you think there of the first half?
This is a fun atmosphere. And, our crowd came out tonight, and obviously with Paige Bueckers, a lot of people want to see this kid play, but I like my kids too. Yeah. And this is just a fun place, with everybody getting involved in the game. And you know what? We've had a few errors that we don't like. We're kind of, the pressure got to us right away.
Well, you handled the pressure after those first couple possessions. You were telling me just a minute ago, second chance points, securing defensive rebounds. How important is that?
You know, you've watched enough basketball, played enough. The highest percent shot in basketball is the second one. It even gets higher. It's the third shot. We got to do a better job so it's one and done for them. I mean, that second, third shot, I mean, they crashed the boards hard. You know what? We'll make some adjustment at halftime. We'll see what happens here.
They got a 59-game win streak. What do you have to do to break that here in the second half?
You know,
the most important thing.
Well, I think the big thing is keeping the one shot. They can't have the second shot. And us just move a little more on offense. We're standing towards the end there.
Is your mom watching up north?
My mom is watching.
All right.
Hey, Mom.
Thanks, Coach. Yeah, back to you, John.
Thanks, Ken Hamry. We'll hear from Brian Cosgrove before the start of the second half. 45-37, Hopkins leads St. Michael-Albertville. More high school girls basketball on CCX after this.
Do that.
(45-37), Hopkins leads St. Michael-Albertville at halftime. Lake Conference girls basketball tonight. Both teams ranked in the top 10 in Class 4A. Hopkins at number 1, riding that 55-game winning streak. Farmington number 2, Wayzata at number 3, Park Center number 4. They've beaten those teams, Ryan, including Wayzata twice. Stillwater at number 5, the team they beat last year in the 4A final, and Chansk at number 6. STMA coming in at number 7, Maple Grove at 8, Rosemont 9, and Eden Prairie rounding out the top 10.
How about the Lake Conference being represented there?
Right.
Very Hopkins, Wayzata, STMA, and Eden Prairie. So very good basketball being played. Very good teams, top to bottom. You take Hopkins out of it, it would be a heck of a balanced state tournament, wouldn't it?
Let's look at the top scorers by points in the first half tonight. Mayanashi, 17 points, leading the way. Paige Bueckers with 9 and Taylor Woodson with 8. Kramer with 11 tonight. Lily Tennyson with 10. And Tessa Johnson with 8. As we go into the highlights from the first half of play, Ryan, let's see how this first 18 minutes played out tonight here at STMA.
Yeah, and there's Paige Bueckers doing what she does, pressure defense in the passing lane, gets the three-point play. You know, only 9 points, missed some shots she normally makes, but a couple of really nice shots. There's a nice floater early, and I thought the Knights got a couple of nice, easy looks in transition to start this game. Mackenzie Kramer doing what she did last week against Wayzata. She hit 3 in a row there at one time, really got the Knights back into the game, and her shooting was key to that.
Mayanachi's been very tough to stop, as you can see by the point total, and we can see evidence of it here tonight. I mean, it's the Wenchwer, and she's a very difficult matchup on the inside. Bueckers with that mid-range shot knocks down one of her 4 baskets in the first half. Another one here.
Well, and Paige Bueckers is one of those 9 at halftime you watch. She'll end up with 28 or something, and she just finds a way. That was a beautiful pass by Tessa Johnson. 45-37. The score was 88-80 the first time these two teams played, so a lot of offense. A lot of scoring, a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun for these fans here to be a part of as well.
Good crowd here on senior night at St. Michael-Albertville High School. We'll take time out. More of our halftime, and then the second half still to come here. Hopkins STMA basketball on CCX.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you.
Hopkins 45, St. Michael-Albertville 37. Back to the court we go. Brian Iverson with Brian Cosgrove.
Just give me a point. Coach, what'd you see there in the first half?
Well, they're a good team. They shoot the heck out of the ball. It's a great environment for girls basketball. I mean,
got our hands full.
You guys are used to getting everyone's best crowds, best shots. You're up 8. They played you as well as anyone this year earlier. What is it about them that matches up with you guys somewhat well?
Well, Kent's a great coach. He has his teams really well prepared, and we have to be ready for the kitchen sink. So this should be a great second half.
What are you looking for here in the second half?
Well, we got to get Paige going. We got to get her going. If we get her going, I think we'll be fine.
And she's been known to do that before.
Oh yeah.
Good luck in the second half. All right, back to you, John.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks to both coaches for taking time with us this evening. Should be a good second half of basketball. The STMA, we said, tied last time these teams played at halftime and within 8. And when you play Hopkins this year within 8, you're right in the ball game. It feels like compared to a lot of their games. We talked about it earlier. Their average scoring margin this year, winning margin, is well over 30 points. So an 8-point game, we feel like it's almost tied, right?
You almost feel like you're losing.
First possession of the second half here for the Knights. So did you see it? What do they need to do even better than they did in the halftime? Well, not that. They give it away on a turnover early and a layup for Battle.
That's her game, too, so long. Plays great defense. I was going to say right before that, the first couple minutes here I think are key. The Knights need to get off to a good start.
Cox able to get it off. Tennyson misses, and Woodson secures the rebound for Hopkins.
You're down 10 here, and we've seen Hopkins just quickly could go 10 to 20. So you want to get off to a good start. Keep this a close game. You want to keep pressure on Hopkins if you can.
Bueckers on the block. A little short shot up and in.
Yeah, you don't see her go down in the post too often, but it showed off nice footwork, a little up and under there.
And this one turned over by STMA.
You got 3 possessions with nothing to show for it. And that's a 2-on-1 fast break. That's got to be a basket if you're the Knights. Nice little turnover left shoulder, a little up and under. And that's where the people don't realize how long she is as a guard. 6 foot, she's got those long arms. Hard to block her shot.
Adams trying to go down low, and Najee pass in front of her, out of bounds, and turnover.
When you play Hopkins, you're down 12. If you can get it to 6 or 8, now you feel like you got a shot.
Kramer pull up 3, not good.
No. Otherwise, if you're Hopkins, you're up 12, you're pushing, you get a couple more baskets, all of a sudden it's 16, 18 points.
Shot for Bueckers comes up short, rebounded by Kramer. Ahead to Cox. Take it right at Najee, puts it up off the glass and in. I like the fearlessness there, Kendall Cox.
Giving up a lot of height, a lot of length there to Maya Najee, but a little shot fake got Najee off balance. Nice job getting it up to the rim there and making that.
Bueckers, Najee, up and in off the glass. 19 now for Maya Najee.
Well, they run such good stuff. She's able to just catch so easily in a great position there. All she has to do is turn and face.
Well short on the 3 by Tennyson. Here's Hopkins on the break, ahead to Woodson. Kind of a tough spot. Finds Adams open in the corner, and she hits for 3. Timeout, STMA.
And that's the exact opposite of the start the Knights needed here to start the first half. There's a bad miss. Bueckers ahead, look at her throw it ahead. Nice job just catching the ball in traffic by Woodson without traveling. And KK Adams, a lot of people forget about her. There's going to be a game in the state tournament, and everyone's going to talk about Paige Bueckers and Maya Najee. KK Adams is going to be the leading scorer with 5, 6, 7 threes.
Well, she had one like that in the state tournament last year, and she really came on and hit a lot of baskets. So 9-2 run for Hopkins to start the second half, and now the lead 15.
And 3 turnovers, too, to start for the Knights. And we said in the pregame, we talked about it, they have to shoot the ball well to stay in this game. They've got a couple of good looks here from 3 early and unable to capitalize on it. And if you go scoreless, Hopkins just too good offensively. That's where you have to almost be perfect on offense. You got to figure to beat Hopkins, you got to score in the mid-80s. And the Knights do. They average 71 points, which is pretty high scoring, but you almost have to be darn right perfect to have a shot to beat these guys. You know what I would have loved to have seen, and not to say that, I think Hopkins probably still wins, but love to see Wyzetta at full strength with Jenna Johnson not being hurt. Felt like that was always the best game. You're used to playing them. They were never intimidated, and they have the size and the length to match up.
Well, we had that game, if you remember. Wyzetta was within a possession with under 2 minutes to go. And it ended up being 10 points, but it was a much closer game than that. And now Johnson out for the season. Kramer trying to spin the pass the corner to Tennyson, does. Miller back to Kramer, a little runner from 15 up and in.
I thought she had the open three and almost took a step and almost took a harder shot, but made it look easy.
Woodson looks inside. They work the perimeter. Adams, Najee back out trying to go to Bueckers and didn't see Miller there. Miller with the ball, trying to put it up against Bueckers, who blocks it. Here comes Bueckers. They had 3-on-2. Deschamps, Adams up and in.
That was a great possession there by Paige Bueckers. Great block without jumping, without fouling. Pushed it, beautiful scoop pass for a layup.
Quick release three from the corner. Kramer can't get this one to go, but rebounded by Miller. She'll bring it back out. Right corner, it's Cox for three. That won't go, and rebounded by Woodson. Taylor Woodson will push it up herself and lost the ball out of bounds off STMA.
Look at the block. Without fouling, and then the speed, the length, the push, a beautiful no-look pass. KK Adams able to finish. A lot of people are going to look at this game, and I would, depending on what Paige Bueckers ends up with, she's got 13 now, saying, well, she didn't score 30. Oh, nice move. How many assists do you think she has already? I'd say 8 to 10.
6 or 8, yeah. 8.
And just her presence on the floor opens up everything else for her teammates.
Foul is on Vanessa Alexander. Her first is Maya Najee goes back to the free throw line. 3 of 4 from the stripe tonight. And now has 20 points, averages just under 19 a game.
And you and I were talking before the broadcast, John, of, Paige Bueckers is a senior, but you look at the rest of their main players, they're all sophomores or younger.
Sophomores or freshmen, the top 7 in the rotation, other than Bueckers. 9th or 10th graders. That shot up and in. Good basket for STMA.
That's not bidding well for the rest of the state for the next couple of years as well.
Shot from the outside won't go, but there's Najee with the rebound. Bueckers will scoop it off the glass and score.
Well, Coach Hamry said at the head, beautiful throw ahead, easy layup for Vanessa Alexander. That's one thing they've done well tonight, I think, the Knights, is in transition. They've gotten some good looks.
Woodson on the block, tough shot, gets fouled.
But Coach Hamry said at halftime, we got to limit second chance points, offensive rebounds. There's the miss by Bueckers. Najee with the great rebound and beautiful scoop.
Knights foul on Tessa Johnson, her first. Woodson short on that free throw. Hopkins for the night, 8 of 10 from the free throw line. And Cox back in.
Well, you touched on it. The Royals, they get to the free throw line a lot, and they make a lot of them. Very good free throw shooting team.
Woodson's second one also comes out, and the rebound to Tennyson.
See the three-point shooting, just 5 for 20 for the Knights. That was something that they really needed to do well tonight. They've gotten the attempts, just haven't been able to make them, only 25%.
Johnson drives and is fouled by Woodson, her third. Contreras in for Adams for Hopkins. Thirteen and a half minutes to go. STMA needs a scoring run here. Johnson trying to get it started. Can't get it to go on the three. Kramer has it. Skip pass across. Cox open left corner. Now backs it out. Hopkins is so hard to play against because of their length, as you talked about, Ryan. And the shot missed there and rebounded by Woodson. Pass ahead, Bueckers to Najee. What a great feed and the finish for the sophomore Najee off the pass from Bueckers.
Well, how many of those tonight, John, have we seen where they're kind of half fouls, right, on shot attempts? Great throw ahead. And that's one where Tennyson, giving up that size, you got to almost do a pull-up on Maya Najee's arm so that she's unable to get that shot attempt off. But again, Maya Najee at 6'4", you see how well she runs the floor, too.
Now 24 points for Najee.
Hopkins is the one team when you miss a shot on offense, you don't have any time to think about who you're guarding or was that a good or bad shot. You got to get back and stop the ball.
Basket by Miller. Emma Miller's second basket tonight.
Isn't she fun to watch? How she with obviously not very tall, but just plays with such a great pizzazz.
Contreras wide open three in the corner hits. We saw her hit some big shots in that game against Wayzata earlier this season. Her first basket tonight, certainly very capable of shooting the three ball.
And she's one of those on any other team I think would be maybe not a superstar, but definitely a star player. She's that good, 5'7" sophomore. And she plays great defense, and she's a very good shooter.
And there's Contreras there, helped steal that ball. Had the tip, got it to Battle, now gets it back and tried to get it to Najee, but turns it over. Good steal by Kramer for the Knights. Kramer stops. Miller will try a three and hit.
Well, that's what they need, a stop on one end, compounded with a made three. If the Knights are going to get into this game, John, they're going to have to get hot from the three-point line. Emma Miller knocks it down.
Bueckers' shot not good. Rebounded by Johnson. And Johnson will try the three and she hits.
It's funny how it's contagious. One player makes it, all of a sudden the Knights can maybe get hot. Down 13. They just got to keep playing it possession by possession, getting a stop at a time.
Contreras lobbing it. Bueckers has the smaller player over under and scores an and one. Able to get a second try on Miller and converts the second one and go to the line.
Well, there's that high basketball IQ being guarded by Emma Miller. Big height difference. Look at her go right into it. But what I want you to watch is how quick she went back up for that. Really good players are quick leapers too. It's not necessarily how high you jump in, how quick you can get back up. And she caught that, put it back up, and took the contact.
Second one, her first free throw rather is good. She's 2 for 2 from the line tonight, now has 16 points, completing the three-point play. Lob into traffic, dangerous and off of Hopkins though, and so the Knights will keep the ball.
I want to see if the Knights can get Mackenzie Kramer going again. Run some action where she can get some open looks, because we've seen her how hot she can get. She can put up 9, 12 points in a hurry if she's able to get to the three-point line and get a good look.
Alexander now into the hands of Johnson. Drive on Agara, shot off the glass, not good. Najee able to tip it, Battle, ahead it comes. Here's Contreras over Alexander, who got a piece of that. Agara gets in there and called for traveling. Turnover for Hopkins. (69-53). Knights trailed by just 8 at halftime. Hopkins gets out to a quick 9-2 scoring run. STMA's not been closer than 13. Well, hesitation, Kramer unable to finish, ball out of bounds.
All that jelly and no toast. What a great move. We call that a hands up. Got the defender thinking she was going to shoot. Beautiful move by Kramer, just unable to finish.
KK Adams back in. Elena Contreras out for Hopkins. Skip pass right side. There's Cox. Boy, they can't hit in the second half on the threes. Ball off of STMA now. I mean, they've made two, but they've missed 8 or 10 probably here in the second half.
Well, and I think they're going to look back. If they shot really well tonight, 40, 50%, this is a close game. So and they're getting the good shots, getting good looks. You just got to get hot, and you got to do that while also getting a couple of stops.
Bueckers trying to get it into Naji, knocked away. Turnover for Hopkins.
Nice
great pass.
Yeah.
And the trailer on the backside. Alexander able to finish off the feed from Emma Miller.
It looked like Emma Miller and Tessa Johnson too close together on that break, but Alexander came sprinting down and got a good look.
Adams answers with a 3.
And quietly, she's up to 13 points. She's had herself a game. That's what she does. You don't think a lot about her, but she knocks down those big shots when you need them.
Foul on Agara here.
Good defense, good job playing the passing lane. Right here, it looked like, I don't think that's going to work. Great vision and way to run the floor by Vanessa Alexander.
And at the other end, quickly to KK Adams, and she makes her 3rd three-pointer of the game.
And most teams, when you're preparing for them, you think, all right, we got to stop 1 or 2 players. That's the thing with Hopkins, really, at any time, all 5 girls on the floor.
Johnson with another 3. She has 16 points. Back to a 14-point game.
She's another one who can light it up in a hurry. If she can get that rhythm going, she's got a beautiful shot.
Nearing the midway point of the second half. Here's Bueckers off the glass, not good. She goes down. The STMA back. They've got numbers. Kramer, little fake, and then goes in and scores.
The little Euro step and having Tessa Johnson out wide, the defender reacted to it. She's able to get to the rim. Nice move. Good footwork as well.
Bueckers into Naji. That worked so well in the first half. They go back to Maya Naji here.
I think anytime they run that side ball screen with Paige Bueckers and Maya Naji, it's so hard to guard.
Johnson finishes at the rim for the Knights.
Well, it's the scoring they need. Down to 12 here. They need continuing scoring and trying to find a way to get stops. But Tessa Johnson, that time she showed off her three-point ability. That time going to the rim. She showed a great ability to go left.
Naji up and gets fouled by Alexander. Back to the line again for Maya Naji.
Yeah, I just think if she's allowed to catch the ball down there, there's just no one with the size that can defend that. Here's that beautiful Euro step. Little ball fake, steps right around a Maya Battle for an easy layup.
She's been solid from the free throw line tonight.
There's a little hesitation left, and then look at the full extension. Maya Battle's 5'11". She's long. That was a nice finish.
Missed on the second free throw, rebounded by Alexander. This one behind Kramer, scramble for the ball. Hopkins gets to it. Adams to battle. And a great recovery by Johnson. Gets back into the play to knock it, and it's STMA basketball. What a terrific effort by Tessa Johnson.
Well, great effort by everyone on the floor. Look at the effort here. Ball was not tipped, so it would have been over and back. KK Adams dives on it. Great effort. Battle looks like she's going to have a layup, and there comes the flying outstretched arms of Tessa Johnson.
Mackenzie Kramer hits a 3. And STMA, as close as they've been since early in the second half. Bueckers drives, and they'll go to the line.
You kind of feel the excitement in the air when the Knights start hitting those threes. That's what they thrive on. And if they're going to get back and fight in this game, they got to continue to shoot the lights out.
Bueckers tonight, 2 free throw attempts, has made them both. As you can see, 16 points. Last foul at Tennyson. It's her 4th. Cox back in for St. Michael-Albertville. Second one good. And a timeout taken here Mackenzie Kramer, we talked about her great three-point shooting. We saw it on display 1 week ago at White's. She was on fire, made 9 three-pointers in this game. STMA led by as many as 7 in the second half of this one before the Trojans were able to rally for the win. But she can really shoot it. We saw it here tonight. It goes well, made 3 three-pointers in the first half. Has added another one here in the second half on her way to an 18-point game, and had 33 in that game last week against Wayzata, averaging 19 a game.
Going to Lehigh next year, so playing at the Division I level. And she's 4 of 8. I think if the Knights are going to have a shot to win this game, she's got to be 8 for 11, 8 for 12. You know, she's got to keep shooting, and she's also had a couple of really nice drives to the basket too. They just got to keep attacking on offense and keep making shots. The hard part, though, I think the Knights can score well enough. The problem is now you have to defend a team where you don't really have an answer down low for Maya Naji. And KK Adams with some timely shooting as well tonight. So it's been a team effort for Hopkins as well.
I think the Knights are on a scoring pace that they like, but Hopkins is outscoring even their pace of 86 a game. Yeah. They're already at 7-7, and we get 7.5 minutes to go.
You're looking at low 90s, mid 90s as a final score, and there's not very many teams, even on a good offensive night, that can score that many points.
Miller and Woodson's got that length, able to step in front of Cox and gets the steal.
And that's the thing, you just can't force those things against Hopkins. They're too good defensively, too good at playing the passing lanes.
Bueckers will back it out now, just over 7 minutes to go. 12-point Hopkins lead, looking for their 56th straight win. Adams for 3, comes up short. Ball comes out to Miller on the rebound. And Battle trying to defend, he's a little too aggressive. Looking for the steal, knocks Cox down. Third personal on Battle. Only the third team foul at Hopkins in the second half. STMA has 6.
I was going to say it's been a pretty clean game, I think, both sides, and for the most part, pretty well reffed as well.
Kramer starting a drive, now gives it off. Johnson, 3. And a good look. Bueckers rebounds. We get a foul. Looks like on
Woodson.
Hopkins. On Bueckers.
Must have occurred after the shot.
Second foul on Bueckers. Pass stolen by Woodson off the inbound, stepping in front of Cox again. Oh, nice little pass for Battle. Up and in, and the foul.
That was just a wonderful pass by Taylor Woodson. Mind you, he's 5'11", plays in the post. Watch the great athleticism. That ball just hangs in the air too long. Looks like she's going to shoot it here. Look at that great feed. And again, another three-point play opportunity. If you're the Knights, you cannot foul on those. And if you are going to foul, you got to make sure they can't get the shot off.
Battle a 91% free throw shooter. Hasn't shot a lot this year, but she's been good on them and hits that one. Now it's back to a 15-point margin, 6.5 minutes to go. Steal by Woodson. She's got 3 here in the last minute and a half, and there's a layup.
Remember, this was at, 10-11 just a minute ago, and just like that, back up to 17.
Pass to an open Kramer. 3 is good.
The crowd loves it. The Knights love that. Nice pass.
Bueckers down low. Naji in traffic. Score, but she'll go to the line again.
You know, the question is, how do you defend that side ball screen if you're in man-to-man defense against those two? You don't show, you're leaving one of the great shooters of all time wide open. If you hedge it too hard, now you're leaving one of the most dominating big girls in high school basketball, Maya Naji.
First one comes up short for Naji. Tennyson back in for STMA, 24. Second one is good. Najee now with 28. And Cox able to control it and able to get it to Johnson. Avoid the turnover. Johnson goes to Kramer in the corner. Back out high to Cox. Into the paint. Floater up. Offensive foul, and taking the charge, number 1, Paige Bueckers.
That's a great team defense there, closing out nicely for us. So let's see, it just outside of that half circle. That's the right call. That's a big turn of events. Instead of maybe a 3-point play, you get the lead down to 12. Instead, offensive foul. Hopkins going the other way.
Bueckers down low. Najee trying to go across the paint to Woodson, and a good steal by Kramer. Kramer to Cox, able to gather the ball in and score.
And again, transition offense has been really solid for the Knights. Nice catch by Cox. They're able to gather and still finish.
83-70, just over 5 minutes to go. Battle for Najee. Good entry pass, and Najee finishes.
Well, nice step through, great footwork, good hands that time, able to step through, use her length, get a great shot. That puts her at 30 for the game. She's just been dominant tonight.
Baseline, Cox shot, spins out, Najee rebounds.
Hopkins doing a nice job the last couple possessions, going 4 around 1, trying to get spacing.
Oh, and Cox gets the hand on top of the ball and forces the jump ball with Bueckers.
Yeah, she did a great job that time of not getting her body at all, just all hand on the ball. Great defense.
Off the inbound, Najee in traffic, can't score, but there's Woodson. She puts it in.
You focus so much on Maya Najee, and rightfully so, you forget about Taylor Woodson. Great height. Another offensive rebound for Hopkins.
The lead now 17. Johnson drives and scores. Johnson's got 20 points.
Yeah, been aggressive in the second half, not just settling for threes, but getting to the rim, using her quickness.
Woodson into the hands of KK Adams. Paige Bueckers going to take a little time off, at least in this possession, off the clock. Battle driving, lost the ball. Cox has it for STMA, knocked away from her from behind by Najee. Gets it back, unable to put the shot up, or in rather, as Woodson is back there to defend. And now it's into the hand of Bueckers with 3:40 to go, and Hopkins in front by 15.
You can see great spacing, 4 around 1. You're going to see Maya Najee try to establish great post position down there. Take some clock off, see if they like a matchup. Great cut.
Terrific play. It's Adams, finds Battle.
That's just a high basketball IQ play.
Traveling on STMA. Yeah, we talked about it early, Ryan. It's a great crowd here tonight. A lot of St. Michael-Albertville youth players and community and high school fans here to support their team. But I think a lot of them also want to see Hopkins. Like, hey, here's
absolutely.
this #1 team in the state and ranked nationally in the top 5. And let's see what it's all about and cheer our team on. And they've been entertained, I'm sure, tonight.
Well, you know who's a great, you know, #1, fans come to see Paige Bueckers. They've heard about her, they've read about her. But then you end up seeing that there's a Maya Najee out there who's going to be one of the highest rated recruited players in her class. And, you know, certainly Paige Bueckers is going to go down as arguably the greatest player ever to play Minnesota high school girls basketball. A couple of her great highlights. Look at her pushing it. You know, tonight would you say that it's been not quite the same standard of her shooting, right? And you look and she's still got 21 points. Yeah. And I think, you know, besides that, she's probably got 10 to 15 assists. So, you know, there's a great block. And then watch this push and pass. Nice little scoop shot. I mean, she can do everything. And I always get the feeling, John, if she wanted to, she could score every time she wanted to.
Hopkins turns it over here and get a foul at midcourt. on Woodson with 2:59 to go.
And I think what makes their dynamic work, when you have a superstar, sometimes it can be hard to coexist. But when you have one who's unselfish and who likes to have her teammates score, who likes to pass the ball, that's how you can make it all work. And I think that's what works for Hopkins.
Kramer for three. Boy, she is such a smooth shooter.
She is.
6 3-pointers.
That's what works too, is watching her shoot. She's got such a great mechanical shot as well. She is money.
Contreras to Woodson. Good job to keep the dribble alive, and a timeout taken by Hopkins. With 2:34 to go. Hopkins girls basketball in the Paige Bueckers era. State runners up 3 straight seasons. Lost to Minnetonka, Elk River, and Eastview. They were the clear #1 team in 2 of those games, and that Eastview game kind of a toss-up, and Eastview able to win that game by 5. That was the last loss for Hopkins. March of 2018, undefeated last year, ran away from Stillwater. It was a close game at halftime. It beat the Ponies 74-45, and look at that record, 122-5 in her 5-year career here at Hopkins, including looks to be 24-0 after tonight to make her 123rd career win. And Ryan, with 2:34 to go, we'll note that this is the first time we'll mention that next year she's going to UConn.
Yeah.
We went a long time without mentioning that.
I didn't know she was going to UConn.
Right, no,
wow.
Who's heard of that, right?
Well, I'll tell you what, they need her because UConn's having for UConn season, they're having a down year, out of the top 5 for the first time in a long time. So there's going to be a lot of expectation for that young lady right there as she brings her game and her talent to the next level. But certainly, I think I speak for everyone when all Minnesotans are going to be cheered for her and hoping she has a great career and really does well, because she's put Minnesota girls high school basketball on the map.
Najee's pass gets tipped, ends up in the hands of Bueckers, who finds Woodson. Another assist for Bueckers, and 2 more for Woodson. She's got 14.
Great example there. I thought Paige would have had an easy little 5-foot floater. Instead, hits Woodson for even a better shot.
And Hopkins is into the 90s, Ryan. 91 points now. Cox gets blocked and fouled by Najee.
I'll tell you what, you got to give Kendall Cox a ton of credit for. She is going at him. She's fearless. She might not always make it or get blocked or whatever, but she has not stopped going at the rim, attacking the bigger, taller defenders. It doesn't matter. She's gone hard to the rim.
Cox to the line and hits the first one. Karis Zedza, senior, 5'6" guard, number 21 in for STMA here on senior night. Second free throw not good. And Agara had the rebound. It's into the hand of Bueckers. And Kramer, foul. Bueckers will go to the line. Tatum Burr, 5'11", senior, number 35, now in for St. Michael-Albertville. So Knight's able to get to their seniors into the lineup here late in the game as Bueckers hits the first free throw. That free throw was that foul was the 10th of the second half on STMA, the double bonus here. Hopkins with Minnetonka coming up on Friday night in the Section 6-4A tournament. I guess you could say likely. I think number 1 seed's pretty much a lock there. And that'll be the high seed in each game host. That was a switch from last year. You remember that section final was at the Lindbergh Center. They played against Wayzata.
And where's it going to be this year?
Lindbergh Center.
It will be. Yeah. You know what? I like that. There's the Knights coming up at Eden Prairie. And then Section 8, a lot of times they'll have to go through Maple Grove. We've seen a lot of Maple Grove STMA battles to go to the state tournament.
Last couple of years has been Maple Grove winning over STMA. The Knights won their regular season battle between those teams this year. The Maple Grove's really been playing some strong basketball. 20-4 coming into play tonight. They're at home against Park Center. Another top 10 matchup.
But I like, some people don't like having that section final at the best, the lowest seed. I like it because then it rewards some of what you're doing during the regular season. So I'm okay with that. I like that.
Paige Bueckers gets a nice hand as she comes out here.
Ended up with 24 points and a good 12 to 15 assists tonight. Just another night's work.
Contreras lost the ball out of bounds. London Salberg Thornton, number 30. Forward that came in for Hopkins here, replacing Bueckers. Down to a minute 10 to go. Kramer step back shot up and in. How about that?
I think the Knights down 14 are going to look at a couple of turnovers and then just a couple of open threes that they normally would knock down. You make 3 or 4 of those, this could be a totally different game. And I think if you're Hopkins, you feel, hey, we maybe didn't play our best, but we beat a really good team on the road, and we're up by 14. So you got to feel pretty good. I think if you're both teams, you're proud of your effort.
Kelly Boyle also in now for Hopkins, number 2.
I'll tell you what, the Knights, they're better off having played and competed against Hopkins a couple of times during the year. They're going to go into that section tournament with a lot of confidence.
Steal by Zeza at the other end. She's going to go to the line and shoot free throws here. We get a Hopkins foul.
That's great for Zeza there to get to the line in their last home game, regular season home game, senior night. Gets fouled and able to hit a free throw. Pretty exciting.
Second one also good. Knights continuing to substitute late here.
Coach Hammer getting a hug in with all those seniors, being able to acknowledge the work and the time and the effort that they've put in here at this program.
Temi Basizovic, number 11, in for Hopkins. The ball in the hands of Contreras. Out of Boyle and over to Basizovic. Final seconds of the game. Contreras will dribble it out. And the Hopkins Royals have their 24th win to start the season. 56 in a row now over 2 years, and they win it over St. Michael-Albertville, 93-81. Hopkins 11-0 now in the Lake Conference, another Lake Conference championship for them this season. The Knights within 8 at halftime. Hopkins had a little scoring run there to start the second half. Really got a quick burst in the first couple of minutes to put them up by mid-double digits, and the Knights got as close as 10, but that was it. Paige Bueckers limping a little bit. She had a slight knee injury, sat out the game the other day against Grand Rapids, but able to play tonight, and even with any kind of injury, able to play a terrific floor game tonight and put this one away for her team with the victory. And then they see Coach Kent Hamry with his team, gathering them up. Some of the seniors playing their last home regular season game, at least here. And a good effort by them tonight. They just come up short against a talented team that no one has been able to stop in Minnesota basketball for 2 seasons. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and hear from a couple of the Royals. We continue with our coverage of St. Michael-Albertville Hopkins girls basketball on CCX right after this.
Yeah! Sam, Elmo!
Oh, hey,
Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
Mm-hmm. With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Good game tonight. The Hopkins Royals win it over STMA. Number 1 beating number 7, 93-81. Down to the floor we go with Ryan Iverson.
I'm with Paige Bueckers. Paige, what'd you think of tonight?
It was a good battle. I mean, they shoot well every single time they play us, so we knew that coming in, and it was just a good battle for us, and our second to last regular season game, it was good to get a test like this.
You've played them twice this year. They played you close both times. What is it about the nights that is competitive with you guys?
They shoot the ball extremely well, and they throw a lot of defenses at us, and they try to stop us in transition, and that's our main thing that we do. So they have a good game plan, but if we start playing better defensively, I think we can beat them by more next time.
What was your thought? How do you think you played tonight?
I didn't play my best game, but I couldn't really shoot the ball very well, so I tried to distribute the ball. I was a little slow, a little sluggish, but I mean, we got out with the win, and I'm proud of our team because they stepped up for me.
Is it because it's so nerve-wracking being on CCX live broadcast? Are you a little nervous about that?
Yeah, I mean, you guys put a lot of pressure on me. I get a little nervous sometimes.
There might be a chance you might be on big networks next year playing college basketball. But let me ask you, the last few games, you have 6, 7, 8 games remaining. What's the main priority for you guys? Obviously win a state championship, but how do you get there? What do you have to do to be back-to-back state champions?
Not get complacent. I mean, we haven't lost in 2 years, and can't get complacent and think we're just going to go out there and beat everybody we play against. So we have to just keep working in practice, keep staying healthy, and just keep working hard and making each other better.
How much are you going to enjoy the last few games of high school basketball? You get to college and beyond, it's a little bit different. How much fun and what are you going to enjoy about these last few high school games?
Just playing with my sisters and my coaches. I get really sad thinking about the end of my high school career, but I'm not trying not to think about it, just trying to take every game as it goes, and I'm just looking forward to having fun with my girls.
And lastly, you see all these kids, not just from Hopkins, but all these other communities coming to watch your team, but a lot of them coming to watch you play. They've heard about you. What do you have to say to all your younger fans, what this journey's been like and what it means to you that they follow you and they'll look up to you?
Yeah, I mean, that means everything to me, just to be able to be a good role model and somebody for people to look up to, and it takes a lot of hard work. I do it with faith in God, and I do it with hard work and just having fun, and I'm a big relationships person, so just building relationships and great experiences that's the best part.
Well, hopefully we'll get a couple of your playoff games, but it's been a lot of fun watching you throughout your career. Thanks for always taking time with us.
Thank you.
Back to you, JJ.
All right, thanks, Ryan, and thanks to Paige Bueckers. And you can see some of those the fans and adults, just saying hi, and some of them obviously Hopkins people as well. But just a lot of people. I've seen this at games before. They just come out and want to say hi and shake hands with Paige, and it's terrific. And what a great job she does, just conducting herself and posing for fans, and has a big social media following. And what a terrific young lady and a great basketball player, as you all know. Well, what a fun game for us tonight here on CCX. Hopkins wins. Again, they are unbeaten, 24-0 on the season. Number 1 as they head into the final regular season game and the postseason coming up. Hope you enjoyed the telecast tonight here on CCX1. For Ryan Iverson and all our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Final score again here from STMA. It's the Royals over the Knights, 93-81.